Before we begin, I'd like to give thanks to Deadly Neurotoxins because, as many of you are aware, I had run into some technical issues in the past week. Now, behind the scenes, Deadly has been messaging me with a lot of information as to how I can go about fixing it. This saved me a huge amount of time, and as a result, I was able to get this video up and continue working on future videos that may have been on hold for an undetermined amount of time. Thanks again, Deadly, for all your help, dude. Much appreciated. Chaos Emeralds vs. Game Genie. Which is more powerful? While the emeralds can grant limitless power, if the genie could just give them to me at will, my vote is for Genie. Either way, tough call. Hello everyone, this is Solar Eclipse, and welcome to my first episode of Game Genie codes for Sonic the Hedgehog. Since my experience with Game Genie for the Genesis is minimal, making codes for this game was kind of a pain. I do plan on making more, but for now I hope you enjoy the 5 codes I do have for you in this episode. Enjoy. The first code I have is SCRA-AAD0. All rings scattered throughout the level are worth nothing. The only way you can get your ring count up at all is to smash open the ring boxes, which are worth 10 rings apiece. Now, with that said, in order to have a shot at obtaining a Chaos Emerald, you need to have at least 50 rings, and the level can't end with a boss. Now on top of that, since there are 6 emeralds in this game, this means at least 6 of the levels must contain enough ring boxes. Otherwise, this code technically prevents you from beating the game with a good ending. Have you ever wanted Green Hill Zone to look like a cherry blossom festival all the time? Yeah, that's not completely random or anything, but anyway, M2NTAACS is just what you're looking for then. This code is purely a graphical code, and it seems to only affect Green Hill Zone. Whenever I get around to learning how to tweak Game Genie Genesis codes, I'll probably be able to recolor the entire game to my liking, but for now, we just have this and one more color code to work with. This is the result of my attempt at tweaking codes. M2NTAACN makes Green Hill Zone look all trippy and cool looking. The trees, the ground, the background will all flash, which I think looks pretty awesome. But there's a huge problem with this code. In later levels, it actually does affect the game, but in a negative way. Depending on whether you're using an emulator or actual hardware, you may experience something different, but after Green Hill Zone, I get an error message that soft locks the game. Kinda soft locks the game. You can progress, however, by turning the Game Genie code off, which thankfully you can actually do on the Genesis one, unlike the NES Game Genie. And mash C after the code has been turned off, because for some reason when you mash C on this game, it actually buffers the next frame. I don't know, I'm doing a terrible job explaining it, just go try it. But you really shouldn't have to do all that. If I find a better version of this code, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Here's where things really start to get weird. M2LTAACL glitches all of the sprites throughout the entire game. Literally, no screen in the game is safe from the effects of this code. It's also a bit of an eyesore, but I don't find the glitchy graphics giving me a headache or anything. It's just really annoying to stare at. And out of my knowledge, the entire game is fully playable and functions normally outside this side effect. When I play Sonic, or, well, most games for that matter, I rely pretty heavily on my ability to see what I'm doing. If you're the type of guy that has memorized the layout of each and every stage in this game, this code will probably just annoy you. For me though, I don't remember everything, so the garbled graphics on each level actually does provide a bit of a challenge for me. So if you're thinking you're up for it, try playing through the game with this code on. Let me know how far you get. I'm going to leave you guys with one final code. RNBA-JXWW corrupts all of Green Hill Zone. It is literally so bad, you cannot even move on Acts 1 and 3. If you enable the debug mode, you can at least move Sonic to somewhere that he can stand on, but outside of doing that, those acts are completely unplayable. I really wish this code affects later stages in the game. There are probably codes that have the same effect, except on other zones, but like I've stated with the previous codes though, until I understand more about how the Genesis Game Genie works, Finding these codes is going to be a bit difficult, although certainly worth it in the long run. I'll just sit back on the commentary and let you guys enjoy my attempt at Act 2. Told you Act 3 was unplayable. Told you. Thank you for watching the entire video to the end. Next code list will feature the game Kid Icarus, which I want to give a big thanks and shout out to Moiset. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, dude, but thank you for the code list, and feel free to correct me on the pronunciation if you're watching. Also, many thanks to everyone else who has also been sending me codes. I'll be making videos for all of them, I just don't have the time right now. But with that said, I actually have an idea I'd like to run by you guys that I think will be fun for everybody and very helpful to me. Now, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than I wish to develop new codes for games due to the nature in which I go about finding them. As a result, making weekly videos with my current lifestyle, which I won't bore you with for now, isn't really doable. I do, however, have some free time to look for these codes, and I'm thinking that bi-weekly, on every Thursday starting on August 15th, I'm going to be doing a live stream with about a 2 to 3 hour session. I'll pick random games from my shelf to look up Game Genie codes, and this way, every other week, we can get together, chat it up, develop new codes, and just have a good time. Again, my time zone is US Eastern Standard Time. I'll try to start around noon. Depending on when you're watching, this information is subject to change, which is why it's very important to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, etc., so I can keep you all informed to the best of my ability. Shoutouts to Mike Ahern, aka Solotac, for this beautiful song that he allowed me to use. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and hope to see you all on the 15th.